Hello and welcome back to crazyRov Studio. In this video, we will look at how to do a copy recovery of a SQL database on an availability group using the Networker plugin for SQL Management Studio. So we will be having multiple videos for the different types of restores that are supported in SQL. So this video we will be covering about the copy recovery. So there is no normal recovery for a database which is part of an availability group. This is because we cannot overwrite a database which is part of an availability group. So the only way to do that would be to evict the database from the availability group, do the restore, and then add the database back to the availability group. Here we are going to take a look at the copy recovery. So the copy recovery is basically creating a copy of a database on the SQL server or a destination SQL server. It can be the same SQL server as the source, or it could be a new SQL server with configuration which is supported for whatever backup was done earlier. So let's go ahead and launch the NMM plugin for SMS. So while that happens, let's go ahead and connect to our database, and so it is basically here, and let's go ahead and delete a couple of rows, or maybe one of the rows, so that we know that we have restored a copy from the backup. So let's say delete from, let me pause the video here and come back to you once the line has been deleted. Alright, so I have deleted one row which has this particular name, so that's not visible here right now. So let's go ahead and start the restore. So this is the window for the NMM plugin for SMS. We will be going into the database restore tab here. Select the backup server. If it is not in, just type the name in and then click on update to get all the information pulled from the backup server. So I'm going to pause the video here for a minute. Right, so once the data is populated, you can go ahead and select the client or the source server, which is SQL AG1, which is the availability group in this case, and then the name of the availability group instance. This is going to populate the rest of the config details in the window. So by default, the plugin is built to do a normal restore, so it is going to populate the name of the original database. But as I mentioned, the normal restore is not supported for AG, so I'm going to give it a new name here. Next, we will select the, obviously this is the destination, so this is the source where we are doing the restore from. And as you might already know, for any module in Networker, you would have to go to the destination server to do the restore. So here SQL node 1 is our destination server, or the server where we are doing the restore. Next, you are going to get all the versions of the backups that are available for the respective database that you have selected under the source. You can select any of the dates, so let's go ahead and select the one for 31st at 9 a.m. and once you select this, you will see that the timeline has been updated here to show you which backup has been selected for the restore. There are other options that are available but are not really important, but if in case you have a requirement wherein you have to relocate the data files that belong to the database that will be restored to a particular location, then you can very well go ahead and relocate that. Or if in case you're looking at relocating only the respective files for the one that for the restore that you have going to create, then you can do the changes here. So we are going to leave this blank. Next is the option, the overwrite existing database. So if in case the database that you have selected is already existing, then you might want to select this so that the database can be overwritten. There are multiple recovery states: recovery, no recovery, and standby. Depending on what type of recovery is required from the DBA, the respective recovery state can be selected. The rest of it is just debug and other options which are not that important for us. So let's go ahead now to the general tab and hit run. And this is just saying that AGDB1 restored database does not exist. So it is going to click OK or to overwrite a database if it exists. So you're gonna click on OK there, and let's just wait for a couple of minutes for this to complete. So I'm gonna pause the video here and start again once the restore completes. Alright, the restore is completed. It was pretty quick because I have a very small database, and let's go ahead now check the result. So straight away, this might not be visible in your database list on node 1. So this is MySQL node 1. So usually you would have to restart the SMS on that particular SQL server. So let's quickly do that and connect. So let's check out the database, and here is the database that we have restored. So let's go ahead and take a look at the table. This is the one we restored. So you'll see that there's already an additional table as well in this case, which belong to the backup. And here if you see in our original database, that table does not exist. So that's fine. Let's go ahead and get this, and you will see that this particular I assume this was the string, so this is available. Maybe you can scroll and see that there is this one also, which is not in this database. So we can go ahead and see the compare it here basically. So here you will see that at the end you don't have the other one either. So this is how you do a copy, restore, recovery of a SQL database in an availability group. Thanks for sticking with me till the end of this video. I hope you found this useful. If you have any questions or comments, share it with our community in the comment section below, or you can drop me a message at my Twitter account. I will see you on another video. Goodbye.